Hello everyone, welcome back to yet another video class. Today we're going to learn about the poem called Lucy Gray. Lucy Gray is a poem written by William Wordsworth. So like I always say, whenever you're going to learn something new or pick up a new book or going to read a poetry, a novel, fiction, it could be anything, first we have to know about the author. Here the author is called William Wordsworth. So we have to get an idea of who William Wordsworth is. What is the circumstance that led to him becoming a poet? William Wordsworth. So this is a guy, William Wordsworth, and he is considered to be one of the most renowned and famous romantic poets. Okay, so William Wordsworth was born on 17th April, Cumberland. He is one of the most renowned English romantic poets. He was England's poet laureate, that's the leading poet, the most famous and most influential poet from 1843 until his death in 1850. So till his death, nobody could replace him. And he was England's most powerful poet. That was why he was considered as the poet laureate. And then he was really fascinated by the French Revolution. The French Revolution that happened in 1789. He was really fascinated by it. And you can see in most of his poems the elements of these struggles, this freedom, the equality, fraternity, liberty, and things like that. And the next thing is that he and Samuel Taylor Coleridge, who was another famous poet, had a great understanding between each other and they became really great friends. So they both wrote a masterpiece that was called The Lyrical Ballads in 1798. So our poem is called Lucy Gray and it is written by William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth was born on 17th April. He is the most renowned English romantic poet. He was the poet laureate of England. He was influenced by what? He was influenced by the French Revolution. And he had a very close connection with another poet called Samuel Taylor Coleridge. And they wrote the masterpiece, Lyrical Ballads in 1798. Okay, so now moving on to the poem. So poem is called Lucy Gray. So first of all, who is Lucy Gray? Lucy Gray is a small, sweet, innocent child. This poem is a story of Lucy Gray, a small girl who goes out one evening looking for her mother, and suddenly a huge blizzard occurs and she loses her way back home. So this is a story about Lucy Gray and it was written in the year 1799. That is 1 year after their masterpiece, The Lyrical Ballads. Okay, so moving on to the poem. Okay, the poem is inspired by Wordsworth being surrounded by snow. So, like I said earlier, what led to this poem? Why did Wordsworth write such a poem? So he was inspired when he was surrounded by snow. Okay, Lucy led a solitary life. Now going on to the poem, we have Lucy Gray. So in this poem, a traveler is walking through and he reaches a village. And once he reaches a village, he sees a small girl waving at him. He looks back at the girl and she suddenly disappears. He searches for everywhere and she is nowhere to be seen. So he's like, who is this girl? Who is this small, cute, sweet girl? So he goes to the next place, nearby houses, and he asks the people who this girl is. And they tell him that's the ghost of Lucy Gray. And that is when we first understand that Lucy Gray is no more. She has died. So he tries to understand how such a cute small girl died at such a tender age. So he finds out that Lucy, she was staying with her father and mother. And she only had a few friends, and her friends were fawn and hare. Small rabbit and creatures like that were her friends. She was cute, she was charming, and she was very obedient. Everybody in the whole village loved her. One evening, what happened was that her father ordered her, Lucy, your mother has not yet returned back home, and it is almost evening. It is going to be night soon, and it is the winter season, so sun sets soon, and there won't be any light. So take a torch and go fetch your mother. Bring her back home. So Lucy, being an obedient girl, she soon obeys her father. She takes the torch and she runs out to find whom? To accompany her mother back home. But what happens is that as soon as she leaves the house, she starts wandering in the forest, and suddenly, what happens? She gets trapped in the blizzard. Huge snowstorm happens, and she gets trapped. At the same time, the mother returns back home. The mother returns with the father, and the father, seeing the mother, asks, "Where's Lucy?" And she's like, "I haven't seen her. Isn't she with you?" So they get worried. They run out of their house. They start screaming, "Lucy, Lucy!" They start searching for her everywhere. But what happens is that she is nowhere to be seen. How can we look for a small girl? During those times, there is no mobile phones or things like that. We can only search here and there or ask people, have you seen a small girl? But it's a blizzard and nobody's outside. So they start searching for her, looking for her everywhere. And slowly they start losing hope. But suddenly they see what? They see footprints on the snow. They can see footprints on the snow. And both of them feel ecstatic and they follow the footsteps. They follow these footsteps. And they're like, okay, we can see our daughter now, we can see our daughter now. And these footsteps slowly reaches a bridge. And towards the middle of the bridge, the footsteps disappear. So what might have happened? Lucy, as she is walking through this thick, dense blizzard, she is not able to see anything. So as she is walking, holding this lantern to fetch her mother back home, she loses her balance and she falls into the river. So that is why the footstep stops at the middle of the bridge. So that is how Lucy dies. But being a good, pure-hearted person, her laughter, her smiles, her songs can be still felt in the air. And it feels like she is alive. Her parents still think that Lucy is alive. Her daughter, their daughter, still lives on in that village. And that is the story of Lucy Gray. So, the poet, on hearing this, he understands that the thing that he saw earlier was Lucy. Maybe a spirit of Lucy or an apparition of Lucy. So, Lucy Gray is a poem written by William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth was a great, renowned English romantic poet. He was inspired by what? He was inspired by the French Revolution. And why did he write such a poem? Because one day Wordsworth got surrounded by snow. So he decided to write a cute small poem about a girl named Lucy Gray who got lost in the blizzard and died. So that's all for this video. Until next time, thank you.